creepy, and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Okay, we've got some huge breaking news because we have just witnessed history. For the first time ever, a private spacewalk has successfully taken place just moments ago. And with views like that, not ideal for flat earthers. So before this, only government-funded astronauts have ever done spacewalks before. And not only that, but this SpaceX mission is now the furthest distance humans have traveled in over 50 years. Since freaking NASA's Apollo program. That's massive. And now this Dragon capsule is more than 3 times further away from Earth than the International Space Station. 3 times. And even better news, we have officially broken the billionaire curse. Jared Isaacman, who is worth over $2 billion and is the commander of this mission, safely did an almost 15-minute spacewalk. That's the kind of news we need right now. And the second astronaut, Sarah Gillis, also did a 15-minute spacewalk as well. So, all around, good news for you to kick your day off. Woo!
Billionaires playing in space while we struggle to pay rent and afford groceries. Is it a black or brown beer? It does look brown to me. Let me know in the comment.
I bet you have never seen this before. This is a vending machine in China that allows you to place your drink in this compartment. But what it does to your drink is the cool part. Once it lights up, it means it's going to work. And all you have to do is hold your bottle upside down and slowly in real time, your drink will freeze up and chill. Perfect for the summer.
Turn it to slushy? I'm down with that.
I'm telling you right now, do not, if you are thinking of ever coming to this goddamn country, Haiti is the worst country I have ever seen in my entire life. They want to scam me because I'm white, and they saw how much money we had to pay to the guy who kidnapped me. 10 people, they're laughing. They're sitting there laughing. They ambushed me in the airport. I'm in a jail cell. Great.
Because you what now? And just out of curiosity, how you end up in Haiti?
There is an eerie ghost town in America that is too dangerous for humans because it's been on fire for over 60 years. The roads leading to it were even covered in dirt to keep people out. But despite this, the town of Centralia still has a population of 4. You see, back in its day, it was a booming coal mining town with thousands living there. But when a fire accidentally spread to the mines underground and became too large to extinguish, houses started collapsing, roads began to crack and buckle, dangerous gases started rising into the air, and a 12-year-old child even got sucked into a 150-foot sinkhole. It became so dangerous that the state of Pennsylvania stepped in and offered to buy people's properties off of them so they could leave the town. And because coal seam fires have a massive amount of fuel, it's believed that the fire will continue to burn for another 200 years. But despite the town's zip code being erased off the map, the roads to it being blocked off with mounds of dirt, and even a court order saying that any residents that remain would not be allowed to sell or pass down their homes to anyone, according to a 2020 census, 4 people still remain.
So 4 people still live there? What are they doing there?
This Hollywood outsider weighs 350 pounds and lives in a motel while his family live in luxury. Jess Brolin has been pictured residing in a compact motel room outside of the California town, Ojai, whilst his father, James Brolin, and wife, Barbara Streisand, live in a luxury Malibu mansion. In 2011, Jess was living out of a worn Toyota truck after his inherited trust fund ran out, leading to him sleeping rough on the streets. After being notified by his unsettled lifestyle, Barbara Streisand's representative said, "We have offered help and support and continue to do so." In 2001, Jess kick-started his career working on Showdancer, going on to work on the TV series Black Scorpion. However, has since never attempted to get back on the path of a successful lifestyle. His dad is not the only one living in a 7-figure mansion, as his brother, Josh Brolin, is currently living in a $7.1 million farmhouse, consisting of 6 bedrooms.
So his father gave him money, and instead of using it wisely, he spent it all, and now he has nothing? Ooh. I know Daenerys is Targaryen when I see her. First of her name, Queen of the Andals, the Mother of Dragons, the Khaleesi of the Great Grassy, the Unburned, the Breaking of Chains.
BB1, I'm going to step into Test Matrix 1. Single-handed mobility demonstration.
Commander Jared Isaacman now emerging
Copy,
from...
we're with you in Test Matrix 1, watching from the nose cone.
NASA cannot do a spacewalk without airtight, multi-layer full-body armor, but Elon's sending people out in a tracksuits.
Documentary came out today and it is phenomenal. Honestly, one of the best true crime docuseries I've seen in a very long time. This is about the disappearance of 14-year-old Andrea Bowman in 1989 and her biological mother's search for her. If you love documentaries, make sure to hit follow because I post daily and you'll never miss out on what to watch. When Kathy was 16 years old, she became pregnant and gave the baby up for adoption, but she never stopped thinking about this baby. In 2010, she got a message from the adoption agency hoping that it was her daughter looking for her, when in reality the adoption agency was looking for DNA because they had found a body that they suspected was her daughter who had been missing for 21 years.
Ooh.
Kathy immediately jumps into action to try to find out what happened to her daughter and where she is. There are massive plot twists in this docuseries. Kathy is one of the most likable people I've seen. What her daughter's adoptive family and friends have to say is going to shock you. Let me know what you think about this in the comments.
Did it get solved in the end? You know, I don't like watching unsolved. Aww. Oh man. It really warmed my heart. Now I'm thinking about all the squirrels in the world that will never experience this.
Smart Schoolboy 9 has been found. So there's a video going around of some people recording outside of this house, which is the house that many people think that Smart Schoolboy 9 resides at. Now, before this video, nobody had really seen or heard anything from Smart Schoolboy 9 publicly for a while. But in this video, we actually get a small glimpse of Smart Schoolboy 9, who is hiding behind this door during the video. If y'all notice, the windows of the house are boarded up. There are also curtains blocking any view into the house, which lines up with many people's reports of Smart Schoolboy's house. If y'all remember, it's been claimed many times that Smart Schoolboy does not want anyone looking into his house, and that his house is boarded up just like this one. In the video, there's also someone seemingly working on the outside of the house. I had to guess they're probably completely unaware of the whole Smart Schoolboy 9 situation. If this is in fact Smart Schoolboy, it seems like he may have just hired this guy to secure his house even more. Because as you know, this entire situation has gone super viral. I imagine there have probably been many attempts to try and get into this house by people passing by on the street. Please don't do that though, guys. I do not encourage that at all.
His real name is David Alter, but uses other names like David Stansfield and David London. He is 59. He has no past criminal records.
Little mastermind attempted to steal her neighbor's dog in the most adorable way. 7-year-old Olivia Myers has been best of friends with her neighbor's dog Gunner since they met 2 years ago. So much so that Olivia and Gunner's moms often joke as to who he actually belongs to. Well, Olivia must have decided it was her, as she crafted this adorable plan to take Gunner and replace him with a plush look-alike with the hope that nobody would notice.
In 2005, Isabelle Denoir's life took a dramatic turn after a horrific dog attack left her with severe facial injuries. In response, a pioneering team led by Dr. Bernard Debouchel in France undertook a groundbreaking operation, the world's first full-face transplant. This daring procedure involved grafting a dead donor's nose, lips, and chin onto her damaged face, marking a historic leap in medical science and transforming her appearance and future. Following the surgery, Denoir humorously remarked that her new face was so versatile, she could now change expressions more easily.
Okay.
There is no way. Trump saying that they're eating the cats and the dogs has now become a TikTok music trend.
They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the cats.
Now, at the time of recording, keep in mind this song was only made 1 day ago, has 16,000 posts. Even Olympic gold medalists are using this song. Honestly, I'm now convinced that we as a generation can't take anything seriously.
The guy is genius. Oh, there's a video of lady showing the evidence to the city of Springfield, Ohio. 10 million views and counting.
I've spent 17 years of my life with an elderly man who smelled like cabbage, just to be told I've got nothing in the will, nothing, and he was worth £33 million. And you think this is funny? I have wasted my life with a geriatric coffin dodger for nothing. And why everyone thinks it's so funny that my husband donated all his money to a bunch of cats and dogs. Who even likes cats and dogs? I'm literally going to be homeless. Like, I've got no money. Not even my own house or my car.
Oh my car.
Like, I'm literally going to be poor. I'm going to have to shop in Asda, like all the other poor people. Not Asda. I've wasted my life thinking I was going to get millions by marrying that elderly coffin dodger. And he looked like a shriveled up prune.
I don't think this is real. Let me know how you feel about this.
This is probably the creepiest thing that I've ever seen. What I'm about to show you, it's disturbing. It's been in our face like the whole time. You just have to be able to know how to put the puzzle together. Look at this. Let's face it, after seeing that, it's clearly demonic at every level, and it's just one of many puzzles using money. I'm really starting to see when they say money is the root of all evil. It's like stamped right on it. I don't know. What do you guys think is going on with our money? Why does it seem like there's so much demonic symbolism?
Nothing in this world is a coincidence. Once you have a spiritual awakening, you just cannot unsee things.
There's actually one chemical in particular that destroys the whole reproductive system for both men and women, and it's called a phthalate. Phthalates are in all the fragrances. They're in our colognes, our perfumes, our plug-ins, air freshener in the Uber, and those phthalates are destroying our endocrine system.
How can we find out if that chemical is in something or not?
When it comes to our beauty products, there's apps out there to help us now. So Skin Deep is one of them. Think Dirty is another app that's been put out that you can just scan all your products and see how toxic it is. It gives you a rating. You want something that's under a 3. Anything over a 3, throw it out. That's a toxic ingredient. We have to start looking at everything in our environment with this toxic lens in mind, because we're now living in this toxic culture.
I agree.
There's this volcano
No
in
way.
Antarctica. that is spewing out $6,000 worth of gold a day. Now, I thought this was a rumor, but you got many people over there at this volcano right now. Check it out. They say these volcanoes release 80 grams of gold each day. And this would be the biggest volcano over in the Arctic.
Each day?
It's erupting gold. The South Pole holds some amazing secrets. So they have found gold spewing out of these volcanoes. Now these gold particles have also been found in the gases that is being released out of these volcanoes. So all of these gold particles will just shoot off in the sky that will be found all through the snow. So you will have liquid gold coming out of these volcanoes, and you would also have gold particles dropping from out the sky. You know, they rushing over there for this gold. This is the gold rush all over again, family. Love and wholeness. Hope y'all like the lecture.
Now we know why they don't want us in Antarctica. Remember the movie Journey to the Center of the Earth? The one with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock?
Parts of the book of Enoch, it talks about the fallen angels coming down and then teaching the people weaponry, technology, how to farm, how to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then they slept with women, created Nephilim. And then in the book of Enoch, it said these were giant men. Their appetite can never be sustained or whatever.
Fulfilled,
so
yeah.
they would start eating men. And so they're just like these
No
evil,
way.
giant creature men. But this Native American, not referencing scripture at all, talked about in America, these star people came down and they taught the natives how to make bow and arrows and how to cultivate and
so it's
farm
the
and like do all this
same
stuff.
story.
And he says, and then these star people basically would sleep with the women of the tribe. These women would give birth to giants. And these giants had red, long hair. He said, but then they would eat the men of our village or just the people. And so we had to drive them out and kill them and stuff. I'm like,
it's all lining up.
What?
It's all lining up.
Weird.
I'm scared.
I feel like we have to apologize for this episode.
Sorry. I'm not apologizing.
My grandmother would have told me, and my grandmother's not black. That's the God's honest truth. My grandmother, Indian. No black in my grandmother at all.
Like from India?
Indian.
Native American.
Native American.
Straight up and down. Like, identical, right? And
wow,
that's how that whole spill
Look
came
at
about. So
that.
when I answered, I'm like, nah, like my grandmother, my mom, ain't nobody never told me about nobody from Alabama. I don't have family from Alabama.
But they were talking just specifically as the black community.
Exactly.
Right.
And I'm one of the ones who never speak up on politics like that. I'm one of the ones. So even when stuff goes down, I get a lot of people that hear me saying, you need to say something. Or they'll go to Floyd Mayweather, you flash this, but you don't do nothing. And you need to say something. And then it's like, if I say something, y'all gonna kill me for it. If I don't say something for it, y'all gonna kill me for it. But I'm just basing the facts. I wasn't alive in the early 1900s. I wasn't alive for that.
Rockefeller was worth $600 billion. When he was about 55, all the hair fell out on his body because of stress. All his eyebrows, his eyelashes, his hair, it's a response from stress, right? And somebody interviewed him and said, what do you think about this? And he said, all the money I've made, it's not worth the stress that I went through. And that's why I learned, don't try to be the richest man in the world. Because if you go to the words of the richest man who ever lived, at least in the last 500 years, he said, it's not worth it. If he could do it all over, he's like, look, I'm falling apart. But the second richest man made not 600 billion, but 400. And he said after age 30, he said, I'll never work more than 2 hours a day.
Ooh.
So who would you rather be? Rockefeller or Carnegie? I'd rather be Carnegie.
You know, Rockefeller was stressed because he was running an international monopoly and had a lot of enemies.
So do y'all remember the YouTuber who decapitated his own dad and then held his dad's severed head up on a YouTube live stream? So we finally got a little bit of an interview with him explaining why he did that to his father.
Justin, now's your time. You said we defamed you. You said we haven't told your story. What is it?
Well, I wasn't expecting this. I had a speech ready, but I don't have that speech on me. I and a lot of other people around America believe that the federal government has betrayed America. They're destroying the country, and we have to do something to take our country back.
What does killing your father have to do with that?
Well, he was a federal employee and betrayed me. I was trying to perform a citizen's arrest. He resisted that citizen's arrest. It's lawful to use deadly force in that event.
This dude had a crazy manifesto and the most unhinged YouTube videos anybody's ever seen. And I honestly don't think that anybody disagrees with him about our government, but his dad wasn't like some federal employee. This dude is just cooked upstairs. Just so we're all on the same page here, if you try to place someone under citizen's arrest and they resist, you are not legally allowed to behead them, okay?
This is where mental health is important, and it's nothing to be ashamed of, especially asking for help.
My wife joined a cult. She moved out in the middle of the night and took the kids. I came back from a trip, expected her to pick me up at the airport. She said, read your email. I'm out of here. She went with the cult leader and she changed the password on her bank account and stole all the money from the house I bought.
If you think he is laughing, you don't get it.
Very famous actor Dave Bautista is currently going viral, and the reasoning as to why he is leaving everyone absolutely speechless. So over the course of Dave Bautista's career, whether you know him from wrestling or acting, he has been known to be a really big and muscular guy. As you could kind of see behind me, like, this is what he's extremely well known for. But more recently, some new pictures and videos of him have been taken and been posted onto social media, and this is what he is looking like now. As you can tell, he is a lot more skinnier than he normally is. Reportedly, he's the skinniest he has been since like he was a teenager, and a lot of people are just starting to be like very concerned for him. Now, I definitely can see where people are coming from. You know, seeing him like this is definitely not normal at all. But you have to keep in mind, he is an actor now. He is no longer a wrestler. So he probably isn't taking, you know, certain supplements that he was before. He probably is, you know, losing weight for movie roles and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure it is being reported that he lost a bunch of weight for a movie that is actually coming out very soon. I personally feel like Dave Bautista knows exactly what he is doing, and he is a very smart guy, but nonetheless, people are still very concerned for him because of his drastic weight loss, and I'm definitely really curious to know your thoughts about all this.
Bro looks like a fashion designer. Ozempic? I like the old Dave. What do I know?
I was reading Blaise Pascal's Pensée. He imagines somebody who tries to pass their boredom every day by gambling. And Pascal says, well, give this man all of the money that he could have won on the condition that he can't play anymore, and you'll make him unhappy. So he doesn't just want to win the money, he wants to play the game. Okay, says Pascal, allow him to play the game, but he's guaranteed not to win the money. You're also going to make him upset. What is it then? You need something like not having the thing desired, along with the illusion that once you achieve the thing, it's going to make you happy. But because having the thing on its own isn't actually going to make you happy, you also need to not have it. You know, it used to be that when you wake up, it was a gamble. You don't know if you're going to have a shelter over your head. You don't know if you're going to have food to eat every single day. The thing resets. Now, you've got the money without the game. You've got the food, you've got the shelter, you're fine. So what people are doing is they're seeking out the game without the prize. This is why religion does it so well, because religion is the definition of something which you don't have now, and for your entire life will not have, and yet believe that you can have, and think that that thing is desirable.
People are being conditioned like that. The way to be is living with passions.
Only reason the United States exists is cod. You might enjoy this tender, flaky fish with chips, but it's also the meat that shaped the modern world. Cod is a unique meat. It basically has zero fat, which means if you dry and salt it, it can last for years, which was a huge deal before refrigeration. 1,000 years ago, Vikings were already catching cod in this area, but the problem is the climate isn't great there for drying year-round. So the first European settlements on North America were built mostly for processing this fish. If you'll remember, the place the Pilgrims chose to land was Cape cod, which would quickly become America's first major export. The first guy to sign the Declaration of Independence was a cod trader. It was such a big deal that this day, every law in Massachusetts is passed underneath a giant dangling wooden cod. So it may feel like just a vessel for tartar sauce now, but if you look into it, pretty much
That's actually a crazy part of history I never knew.
Demonic assignment against Christians to just remove and strip the power and the resources from their lives. The way that the enemy has gotten us positioned is that we've reversed the cause and effect. So we think that obedience should be the byproduct of money. That God will tell you to do something, you're like, that's not good stewardship, I can't afford that. And what we don't realize is that if we view money the wrong way, then we'll always be chasing money, which is where people have a point. Where it's like, okay, that is a root of a lot of unhealthy things. And one of the biggest areas where God has been misrepresented is money. And what will happen to someone like me, or if you're watching this and it's like, yes, you believe in God, but you also don't want to be poor, you like paying your bills, great, that's good. Watch for this, because the vulnerability that you have is this spirit of mammon, which is greed, and you can recognize it by the things that it says. So anytime you feel like I'm on my own, sometimes that's indicative of spirit of mammon. And so you're about to probably step over a threshold where there's financial prosperity and abundance.
Amen in Jesus' name. No weapon formed against us will prosper.
This is modern day right here is what this is. Protein powders, they are junk. They'll try to sell you over an ad that the protein powder is going to help you bulk up, and it is not true. Protein powders will blow out your blood sugar, especially if they're trying to sell you a plant-based protein powder. That stuff is ultra crap. Avoid it like the plague. That protein bar right there is no different than a Snickers bar. So we got all this marketing out here that's telling you, eat your protein bars, drink your protein shakes. This is not how you should be eating. This is modern day right here is what this is. This is junk food. Just don't eat it.
I like how this clip started. But what is the suggestion to replace all the needed protein? Anyone?
Newest invention is called the Arcatron. It's a recreation of the Ark of the Covenant of Moses. Ark means a segment of a circle. A-R-C, A-R-K is the same word. Segment of a circle. Moses was given the ratios 3-3-5. If you see behind me, every point of the pentagon are two triangles. That's the 3-3-5 ratio given to Moses. It has a treatment platform on top so you can treat smaller objects. On the bottom are 5 points are Lexan connectors, and it comes also with the precision compass. It's a very powerful little pyramid generator. It creates the life force. Anything you put in it gets better. It makes vitamins more potent. Water bottles get charged up. Plants grow faster with the charged energy. It works because of its shape. And we're copying the same shape as the Great Pyramid. It was left as a monument in stone to be copied. It was designed to stay there for tens of thousands of years. But it's the sacred geometry, the angles, that make it work. This is the Dream Machine. And it's called the Dream Machine because everybody that's used it, it goes over your bed. I suggest by your feet so you can see it. You have incredible dreams. And these are made up of Cheops pyramids that are base to base, which I call a pyramid crystal. And it's 3 of these crystals. It creates an expansion of the energy, a contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion, which creates a flow of energy through it. And it's a great room energizer, especially if you don't have much room to put the pyramid. This takes up very little room on an inside corner, and it shoots energy off of every point. It's wonderful. And the day people will walk in your house and say, I feel like a kid, I want to laugh, I want to have fun. And this is my grid system behind me. This is a 9-pyramid grid. It focuses 9 vortexes of energy coming off of each of the 9 pyramids and focuses it to a distance about 3 feet away. And this is my favorite sleep system. It's called the Mothership, a 42-inch pyramid that hangs over the bed. This is the #1 selling sleep system pyramid for over 35 years.
I've been sitting here for a good 10 minutes. We had a pyramid like this where we took an apple and we cut it in half. We put the half underneath the pyramid like this and another half outside, and the half that was inside never turned brown.
I mean, I was kind of I was like just sitting here, and all of a sudden you just feel like
cool, like a cool breeze, like relaxing. You're right, but never experienced this before.
I'm feeling a vibrational level, a tingling, a slight buzzing. I'm feeling a humming. And
this is my favorite invention. It's called the Pyramid Charger. It's a Tesla coil powered pyramid. This is the first marriage between the Cheops pyramid antenna and a Tesla coil. This is 500,000 volt solid state Tesla coil. It's an amazing device. It creates high frequency, high voltage pyramid energy. It has incredible healing effects and rejuvenation effects. Cheops pyramid standing waves of high frequency, high voltage, in this case 3 million volts of pyramid wave energy. Goes into the body and knocks anything out that shouldn't be there.
Who is this guy? Anybody know?
Don't cheat or tell lies to make more money. There'll be a curse on it. Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, went after Naaman and got money in a wrong way. I'll never forget that. Naaman said, Gehazi, you grabbed Naaman's money, you got his leprosy also, and the leprosy will be on you and your children. When you get money wrongfully by telling lies or cheating into your bank account, there's a curse on it. Because it is unrighteous money, and when you finally die and that money goes to your children, that will go to your children also, that curse. Please get rid of all unrighteous money, repay it now. It's one of the things the Lord taught me. When I got converted, before I was converted, I had cheated the government and all. I paid it immediately. Emptied my bank account. It took me 4 or 5 months to save that money, emptied it, and I've never regretted it. Just telling you a few lessons I've learned.
No?
Did we ever talk about when you got locked up?
No.
You don't want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, this is American.
You know he was locked up for he did a bid.
No, I did not know that. Dame, you told everything, Dame.
I didn't do a bid.
Straight to the point.
He was in there for a year. That's a bid.
That one, no, yeah, 3 months. 3 months.
That's a year. If you innocent, 3 months is a fucking year. That's a bid.
I went on a trip with a friend.
Uh-oh, Mr. Billy Carson is in some hot water right now. Did y'all peep how Dame Dash just tried to expose him? Now, I have also found documents of Billy Carlson working out of Broward County, Florida. But his name wasn't Billy Carlson. It was William Tyrone Carlson.
Tyrone.
Now, instead of the Carlson with the C, his original name will have the Carlson with the K. Billy Carlson will work for the European Space Agency and also NASA. Billy Carlson would specialize in astrophysics, but he also loved ufology. He loved to brag about this Anunnaki story, how this planet Nibiru would come into our atmosphere and purge the planet. But the big secret is, why would he change his name? What is he trying to hide? I'm gonna finish rolling the clip, y'all.
To Georgia a long time ago. We were kids, basically, and he had some marijuana in the back of his trunk. He had not even a lot. I mean, it was personal use. It was less than an ounce. It was in his speaker box. We get pulled over going into Georgia. I think we were in Lowndes County, Georgia was the name of that city or that town or whatever.
Let me know I'm staying out of there.
Small town. Anyway, so yeah, crazy, right? So they pull us over and everything else. He forgets he has it in there. It's so old that it's dry rotted, I guess, you know? And they searched the car. He asked me, they said, can you search the car? This is long 90s, early 90s. I mean, he didn't know. He was like, oh yeah, whatever, go ahead. They found this dry rotted, blood in the back of the trunk. And they took us down to the local, the local police department, what do you call it, the local jailhouse, the county jail or whatever. And they kept us in there for 3 months waiting to go to trial. He had given the statement that this guy was just a friend of mine, a passenger in the car and everything else. They kept us in there that whole time, 2 meals a day.
It's Florida. It's bacon hot.
Rats in the ice shredder. People were begging to get out of there just to go to prison, but it was a hell of an experience for me to be able to be around those people. I became like the leader in there, of course, dropping knowledge on people and getting people's minds right and everything else. And people, the hardest core criminals and stuff in there were like hating to see me leave, literally tearing up when I got out of there. Obviously, they had to let me go because I didn't do the wrong.
3 months?
3 months. 3 months just to go.
Quarter.
That's what they do. It's a business. It's a business. It's the business.
It almost feels like you just needed to experience every single thing for no reason, just so that you could relate to the rest of the world.
I already knew that. That's exactly what it was. I had been through that situation, which of course I was completely exonerated. I have no criminal record at all. Matter of fact, I just got my concealed weapons license. But I'm a Team USA basketball coach, so there's no record there. But being able to be around those people and experience them at that level and talk to them on the level that.
If you don't know, now you know.
This is one of the most dangerous drugs on the market. It's called Advil. It's one of the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Aleve, similar thing, but there are many others out there. Why do I say it's so dangerous? Because you take it long enough, it can cause kidney troubles. If you've already got kidney troubles or diabetes, it can make your kidney function worse. You got hypertension, blood pressure will go up just by taking enough Advil, especially if you take it for days and days. Have heart failure? Start taking this, you could end up in the hospital with heart failure and fluid retention. On blood thinners, this can make you bleed. Got GERD or ulcers, can make the ulcer worse. Yet, where are the warnings here? Where are the warnings by the FDA? I don't see them. I bet you lots of people go to urgent cares and other doctors with pain, and they tell them to take a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug like Advil. Now, taking it for a few days for most is not going to cause a problem. But if folks have kidney problems, heart failure, hypertension, history of bleeding, ulcers, this stuff is incredibly dangerous. Yet, where are the warnings? Where are the warnings for the patients and the doctor? Where's the big warning on this? All I see is a pretty label. I see lots of patients that take this too often and they end up in big...
What do you recommend to take instead? Anyone? Here in Indonesia, we use paracetamol for pain. I think it's bad too.
So it looks like we thought we bought land. If you see all this back here, we thought this was land. But it did say it was a 3-family house. This looks like a 3-family house covered by all the bushes. The grass is super high.
We bought out and it's open.
4-car garage, excuse me.
Look, in the roof of the garage is good. It just needs repair right here.
Yeah.
4,500, you just hit the jackpot. Congratulations.
Not everybody here on this planet has a soul. In fact, a lot of them are just projections of program. And that's all they care about is regurgitating the program that they have been created by artificial intelligence to spout, because they don't have any real intelligence. And how you tell the difference is a human being has the ability to change. And a messenger cannot change. A messenger has a different soul than a human being. The messengers are here, program artificial intelligence. The messengers are here to tempt and sway people who have souls. And they do it quite effectively. But when you go back to roots, the way you tell if you're a human being or just a messenger, a co-opted bot of artificial intelligence, is you can change. A human being has the ability to change its mind.
This one reason Roxanne got blacklisted in Hollywood. She thought for herself.
You said that you've preached to your dog.
Yeah, I just told him the gospel, basically. I'm like, hey, you know, you're righteous, you're holy, you're sanctified. Hebrews 10:14.
To the dog?
To the dog, bro. And you know, it was actually under the guy.
I don't know if that's okay, man.
You think so?
What makes him holy and justified? He doesn't have the Holy Spirit.
That's the difference. For me, it was kind of like, okay, I talked to Pastor about this as well. And he says, again, preach to everything. Like, if you want to get good at preaching the gospel, of course you have to have the Holy Spirit, but he's like, preach to a plant. Under that, I was actually preaching to the dog.
Animals are the creatures of God, right? And
Not the snake. They actually messed it up for us.
So actually that too, his name is Nakashim and he's serpentine, right? Seraphim, he's a seraphim. So that means like he's not actually a snake. If you read it in the Hebrew Aramaic, Coney Greek, he's actually a serpentine. He's a cherubim, a fallen angel.
So he wasn't like a snake on his belly.
He crawled on his belly, absolutely. But if you read it in the original lexicon, he's actually a Nakash, Nakashim, Seraphim, cherubim. They explain it in this way.
Why is Joe's acting like this is such a blasphemous idea? Literally, it's not that deep, bro.
Reese Witherspoon. You know, I always wondered how she became so famous so quickly within the industry. This is her daddy, Dr. John D. Witherspoon, otolaryngologist from Nashville, Tennessee. You know who that is? John Witherspoon, one of the founding fathers of the United States. Bloodlines. For reference, one more time, her dad, founding father. I mean, I've heard of mothers and daughters looking a lot alike, but not this alike. She is claimed descendant of John Witherspoon, one of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence. That is so wild how he can look just like her dad or her dad look just like him. Yeah, that's crazy. I can't see it at all. Can you? No! There is this strange, wacky conspiracy theory that when they clone them, they have to raise them. One more time for reference, her dad. Yeah.
I'm genuinely confused. Where's he going with this? Don't go anywhere because we still have fire clips after fire clips back to back.
One day, I get an email. I had a Proton Mail account. Are you familiar with Proton Mail?
Oh, that's like an anonymous one for like drug dealers and shit, right?
Okay, so it's an encrypted email.
Okay.
I get an email from a guy. This is 2012. He wanted to meet me at a place called Lux Bar. He said he had a job for me. Said the job was paying $52,000 for 5 days. Up front, you get the entire payment.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, okay.
Also, why would they pay you up front?
Listen to this. I meet up with the guy. He shows me a ID from the Pentagon. He tells me that he does not trust certain people that he works with, and that he needs me to keep him safe until he can testify in front of Congress.
Oh, wow.
Right? He shows me some pictures. He say, what does this look like to you? So I say, okay, so what am I looking at? He says, these pictures are on the surface of the moon. He say, my job is to scrub these pictures to make them available to get released to the public. So I'm like, okay. Then he asked me to sign an NDA. He pull out a little folder, unfold the paper, and say, "Want me to sign an NDA?" I'm like, oh, okay. I always try to avoid that because to me it's like you're agreeing to something, right? Then the guy goes on to explain to me about some race of people who live at the bottom of the ocean. They have facilities there, and when I refused this job,
sounds like a Little Mermaid, but
until you hear these parts,
okay.
Adam, come on.
I refused the gig. He tells me someone's occupying our moon. I'm scheduled to testify as a whistleblower in front of Congress about this. Can you keep me safe until then? I had to turn the job down because as soon as I go outside, my car ransacked. My car, for about 3 weeks, my car get towed. I go and pick it up, they give it to me for free. Then, a lot of strange things was happening. You see what I'm saying? And, this guy testified in front of Congress.
And is he still alive?
Yep.
Sounds like if they were willing to do all that to you, that they would be willing to kill him too. Or something to him.
This rabbit hole goes deeper than we think.
I'm going to share something that my dad hammered into my head
as a child and young adult that I wholeheartedly believe as an ER doctor, and that is that
Wow, you're an
nothing
doctor.
great happens after midnight, and nothing good at all happens after 2 a.m.
Totally disagree. This is when I get my best sleep. I'm just kidding. I agree to 100%. My mother said that too.
Japanese in the 1970s tried to build a pyramid using the technology that they thought was available at the time, using copper tools and manual labor. And they damaged more stones within a period of 3 months than they had stones to work with. They tried having men haul the stones, and they got stuck in the sand. They started using helicopters and 20th century technology, and they couldn't build a pyramid. So it remains a mystery. But let me just share with you and your listeners, Rock, an important aspect of this structure. The word pyramid is a Greek word which means little flat cake, like a pancake. Mm-hmm. That name was used to describe the approximately 100 pyramids around Saqqara that had collapsed. Very, very small buildings that collapsed, and maybe to the Greeks looked like pancakes. But the original name, the African name for this structure is Mir. And the word Mir means the place of ascension. Now, the Mir or pyramids were never tombs. There were no bodies ever buried in any of them. The bodies were always buried underneath them. So if we follow this logic, if Mir is a structure that means the place of ascension, then these structures were built over tombs primarily to facilitate the ascension of the souls buried beneath them into heaven where they will be reborn. So this grew out of the ancient African concept of spirituality. The ancient Africans and Kemet were the first human beings who wrote about the soul, who wrote about the salvation of the soul, and specifically talked about where the soul of human beings go after they die to be reborn. All of that is documented in a text that is known mistakenly as the pyramid text, found in the pyramid, in the tomb underneath the pyramid of Unas, who was the last king of the 5th dynasty. We have a copy of the pyramid text in the tomb that we're currently excavating, the 25th dynasty tomb that we're currently excavating. So we're able to show, document beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Africans were the first people to have a concept of the soul, the immortality of the soul. And then in our 25th dynasty tomb, 2,000 years later, we have a record of Africans having retained that knowledge and recording it on the walls of the tomb of a priest named Karak Amen. Karak Amen. He was a chief.
Did anyone ever think instead of the pyramids being built from the bottom to the top, that it probably was built from the top to the bottom, and the inside was probably built from the bottom to the top? I'm just talking crazy.
After Neo was named in Diddy's lawsuit, all I keep thinking about is when Neo's baby mom said that he was Diddy Jr. His baby mom was coming at his neck and she was saying, Diddy Jr., tell him about the freak-offs, tell him about the freak-offs, Diddy Jr. She explained how Neo would have these freak-off parties with their kids present. And she explained that all of these stories were going to come out about Neo and he was going to go down next just like Diddy. And now Neo's being named in Dawn Richards' lawsuit. Dawn Richards' lawsuit alleges that Neo and Usher saw Diddy punch Cassie in the stomach at a restaurant and they did nothing to help her and they kept it quiet for years and they continued to work with Diddy after all of this happened. Dawn Richards' lawsuit also alleged how all these high-profile celebrities were seen and participating at Diddy's freak-off parties with women and underage girls, and she doesn't name any of them by name, but I find it kind of weird that Neo's baby mom was calling him Diddy Jr. and saying that he was going to go down, and then all of this information is starting to come out. I have not been able to get Neo's baby mom calling him Diddy Jr. and talking about these freak-offs and saying that he was going to go down next just like Diddy out of my mind since reading Dawn Richards' lawsuit against Diddy. So I'm about to go ahead and roll y'all this clip of Neo's baby mom calling him Diddy Jr. and y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments.
Tell him about the freak-off, Diddy Jr. Diddy Jr., tell him about the freak-off. Tell him about the freak-off.
Diddy Jr.?
Tell them the truth. Tell these people the truth. Oh, shut the fuck up. You don't give a fuck under these kids. Do y'all see a fucking picture in his house of a fucking kid? He don't care about these kids. All he care about is doing, drinking alcohol, fucking these hoes. That's what you care about. So let's go. I'm a Diddy bop the fuck up out of here. You and your freak off. You can get back to your freak off in a minute. You'll be next. You'll be next. You'll be next. You'll be next. Your stories will be coming out next.
Praying is witchcraft. You are using words to alter your reality. Words create vibrational frequencies. Praying over food is changing the vibrational frequency of the water in the food. They are raising the vibration of the food before they place it in their body. Each cell in our body responds to the frequencies produced by thoughts, words, and emotions. Holding their hands together is an ancient form of meditation because your hands are manifestations of your brain hemispheres. Placing them together completes the electrical circuit of the brain and the body and allows electrical energy to flow through the meridians of the body. This technique was used to balance the hemispheres of the brain during meditation to access a higher consciousness. Jesus even says, "No longer will you ask me for anything." Instead of praying to Jesus, the Bible says, "Believe that you receive them and you shall have it." This way you trick the subconscious mind in believing that you already have it, which will manifest into your reality. You attract what you are. Music is magic. Be careful what you listen to because it molds your mind. The comment with 0 likes wins a free book of wisdom.
Depends who you're praying to. Praying is a good thing. Yesterday he said money doesn't exist, but in the end of his clips he said his book is on sale now. I think he's pranking us.
You cannot convince me the megalodon is not still alive after reading this article that was published by shark researchers today. Apparently there was an 8-foot shark that was consumed whole by another shark, but they are not spilling all the details. This shit was so astronomical and out of the question that it has multiple researchers baffled. They are saying they don't know why or what or how another shark that was 8 feet could have been consumed, but they believed it was consumed by another type of shark. Here is the article that just came out today, September 3rd, and the headline reads, "Researchers are shocked after an 8-foot shark is eaten by a predator, but who's the culprit?" A team of scientists from Arizona, Oregon, and Rhode Island had been tracking a pregnant poor beagle shark for hundreds of miles from New England to Bermuda when it was killed. Side note, it would be a crazy ass statement to say that the megalodon was hiding in the Bermuda, but low-key it makes so much sense. The Bermuda Triangle. For the first time ever, researchers have found evidence of a top of the food chain shark being killed by a predator, according to a study published Tuesday in the peer-reviewed journal Frontiers in Marine Science. The team of scientists who wrote the study had set out to research pregnant Puerto beagle sharks and track their movements because they're endangered in many parts of the world. So apparently by a pop-off satellite archival tag, they knew that the shark was actually eaten or attacked. What's crazy is another shark was killed and its beagle tag had actually fell to the bottom of the ocean before it could be surfaced. Tell me what shark eats a 8-foot shark? They need to tell us what the going on now because I'm not buying it.
In the Sumerian text, you mentioned it already, and we have never spoken about it on the show. The King's Tablet?
The Sumerian King List.
Complete list.
And there's others as well, like the Uruk list of kings and sages.
Right, so can you explain to people what that is and how old in the stories or in the list that they're talking about, you know, how far back it goes?
Yeah, and I use, I don't even use just those. I use a combination of many other texts as well. But it gets back to, and I guess I can go back to that 1931 excavation of Shuruppak because it really lays the story. They dug down to a depth of 17 to 20 feet down. Mm-hmm. And in this period, they found 3 distinct civilizations that have been there. 3, okay? 3 civilizations, not 1 or 2. And they were all separated by different periods of time. And what they identified as Stratum 1 was the oldest one. And it's below a massive flood layer, just like it's described in the tablets. Well, in the Sumerian king list and the Uruk list of kings and sages, and even the Brosky king list that came out of Babylon, they describe a time long ago. I mean, so long ago that not even during the time of Gilgamesh. That's what's so interesting is that we think of Gilgamesh, right? An ancient Uruk-Ur. And he's this king that is seeking out immortality, and we have the tablets from him. But in something like, for instance, the Epic of Gilgamesh, he goes to seek immortality from this legendary Sumerian priest king known as Ziusudra, who is from a whole different time. He finds him, like this is journey in the underworld. And we can get to the Anuna in a second, the Anunnaki. But he finds him, and he's like, I want to seek this. I want to find the secrets of immortality. Right. And I love this because Ziusudra says, "Oh Gilgamesh, I'm from a time long before the memory of even your people." ever existed.
He says that in the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Yeah, that, you know, we think Gilgamesh in that time is so old, and he's like, well, he's like, I'm from a city called Shuruppak. He says that. That's a time so long before. He says that it was a time when the gods walked amongst men, that the Anunnaki they were in our realm. It was like part of our temples, and where we lived was like very different than it is now. And he states that Shuruppak, as from where he was from, was not from the same time as Gilgamesh. He talks about how it was from a time so long before that it would be like if we were from Gilgamesh's time. It's like us trying to consider the ancient past for him. That's how far back it is. Okay? And so there's these different sagas that have happened with the rising and falling of different civilizations. Well, that's exactly what the Sumerian king list says. And exactly like the Uruk list of kings and sages says. It says that there's the original 5 cities that were created. 5 cities created in ancient Sumer along the banks of the Euphrates and Tigris rivers. That was the beginning of everything.
Replace the aliens with fallen angels, and you have the actual history.
The oldest nation in the world is probably not the one you think. You may watch a movie like Braveheart that's set in the 1300s and notice that there is a king of England at this time, which may lead you to believe that England was some kind of nation, but it wasn't. For most of history, a ruler might occupy a certain territory, but the boundaries were constantly in flux, and the people who lived in those areas didn't really see themselves as English or Scottish. The elite class of lords may have thought of themselves as a coherent state, but all the peasants whose resources they were living off of were not considered part of a nation. If you asked a peasant, hey, what are you? They would probably answer Catholic, or maybe mention their village or clan. It wasn't until the French Revolution that the idea came around that all the people who live in a certain area, no matter what village they're from or class they're in, should be considered a unified entity. France.
Aren't China and Egypt way, way, way older?
I don't realize if you're broke, logic, do stuff that saves rich people time, because rich people have money but they don't want to spend time. So like you said, find them a house. They call that bird dog. Being a bird dog for somebody with a lot of money is a way to instantly make for $10,000 a month.
Your laziness is something that has to do with you. You're not connected to something deep enough. You don't feel the necessity. You don't feel the devil at your heels. You don't feel the fact that you could very well die tomorrow that will impel you to get something done.
What's one thing I'm doing wrong, that I know I'm doing wrong, that I could fix, that I would fix? It's like, you meditate on that, you'll get an answer. And it won't be one you want, but it'll be the necessary one.
If you can get a mental image of the person you would most like to become, begin now to act as that person would act in everything you do. Gradually, imperceptibly, you will actually become that person.
I don't want to live in a hole anymore. It makes me feel poor.
We are poor, but we're happy.
Come see, come son. Anyway, the views are better above ground. Honey, I'm 7 non-Fox years old now. My father died at 7.5. I don't want to live in a hole anymore, and I'm going to do something about it.
It goes back to what the great German poet and philosopher Goethe once said. Before you can do something, you must first be something.
That sounds really stressful, and you shouldn't be motivated by stress.
You want to play? Let's play!
In Escambia County, Florida, this guy broke into someone's home just minutes before a woman inside shot and killed him. The woman who fired the shot isn't facing any charges. You can see the man kicking the front door on James Taylor Lane, yelling at the people inside. He keeps kicking until he finally gets in.
Play! You want to play? Let's play!
Wow.
Once inside, the sheriff said he grabbed a knife and threatened the mother of his children. A woman in one of the bedrooms, fearing for her life, shot him in the head, killing him instantly. The man had an active domestic violence injunction against him. The sheriff mentioned that he was actually on his way to an anger management class when this happened.
Play. Play. Let's play.
The moon
He's very calm now.
is empty. You can see on the new moon, you can see a ring, and there's black, and you can see it's a hole. Clearly, it's a hole. You go through it.
What do you think the planets are? They're light? It's not like dirt. Mars isn't like dirt?
Not.
So they're not landing Mars rovers on Mars, right?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. What they're doing is they're going to places like Greenland with very, very exotic landscape, and they're making it look like it, and then they're colouring it to look red and what have you. If you go to Wikipedia, which I'm in now, and you look up under Saturn, in the first sentence it will tell you that Saturn is a gas giant, and then you go to Jupiter and it tells you that Jupiter is a gas giant.
Yeah.
Then you ask what the sun is, they say it's hydrogen and helium. Well, that's gas. Why is Venus or Mars or the moon where they landed, why is it an exception? You can see with your own eyes that it's a light. Ptolemy, for thousands of years before the Jesuit Copernicus turned up and made a spinning ball, was saying all of the 7 planets are entirely luminous. They are portals.
Oh, you're telling me there's no moon there?
There is.
It's not a solid object?
It's a more attenuated transcendental material. What you are seeing there is the dance of the gods, the moon, the sun. These are gods. They are gods. They are archangels. The Jews, they'll tell you, in Kabbalah, they'll tell you the moon is Raphael, Mercury is Gabriel, etc. The sun is Michael.
I'm not allowed to say certain things, but this is how they hide everything. So if you want to understand what you are, where we are, this ebook will literally unveil that to you.
Okay.
There's no way that you can convince me right now that this isn't a Nephi right there, you feel me? And what I mean by Nephi, it's a Nephilim, petrified man,
Nephi.
you feel me? My man was cooked. Like, you can clearly see his features, yo. Peep that shit. This picture a little blurry, but look at that John, bro. My man was taking him in before he checked. And I guarantee y'all didn't see this one, yo. They built a whole city over in Sicily, Italy, and all that on top of a Nephi, bro.
Nephi.
Oh my God. This what that John looked like at night. Pete, y'all can see the legs, the head, and all that, yo. But think about the size, though. No diddy. My man was the size of a city, bro. They had big-ass cats, too, yo. You feel me? It wasn't just the Nephis. Remember they said all prehistoric, you feel me? Everything back then was, you feel me, way bigger. And you know that the DNA and biome was different, so they, you feel me? You mean? We all know that this was a big-ass tree that they was trying to climb up to escape from the flood, yo. In Genesis, the beginning, Merrimah. Also, yo, this is my personal opinion. I don't think they carried them big-ass blocks on their back. Yo, that shit cat. Way up!
Wait. Yep, the Nephilim built the pyramids and so on and so forth.
Why would a 12,000-year-old site be buried by its builders, then hidden from the world?
Disclaimer, these are AI.
By modern governments.
My thoughts, exactly. It's insane. Only 5% of the site has been excavated, and the excavation efforts have mysteriously slowed to a crawl. Why? That's what I've been asking myself for 30 years. When we started to uncover it during those early excavations, it unsettled the Turkish government, along with other powerful nations. They moved quickly to suppress the discovery.
What was it, and why have we never heard about it?
Okay, so 11,600 years ago, a civilization that predated any known society, even the ancient Sumerians, which our history books claims to be the first civilization at 6,500 years ago. That puts the new discovery 5,100 years before the Sumerians. The discovery Göbekli Tepe is so advanced that even modern technology struggles to comprehend it. Göbekli Tepe, located in the remote hills of southeastern Turkey, is more than just an archaeological site. It's a mystery that defies logic and history as we know it. But what if I told you that the truth about Göbekli Tepe has been deliberately kept hidden from us? Göbekli Tepe is the world's oldest known megalithic site, far older than the pyramids, Stonehenge, or any other ancient wonder. But unlike those marvels, Göbekli Tepe was deliberately buried, carefully hidden from the world for thousands of years. Who built it? Why was it covered up? And most importantly, what did we find there? While we were there excavating, we found an ancient tablet made from an unknown material. It depicted a strange humanoid figure with elongated limbs, wearing a helmet-like structure, and surrounded by symbols that no archaeologist could decipher. The tablet was taken away by the Turkish government, never to be seen again. Officially, it's claimed that the tablet was misplaced during transportation, but insiders have a different story.
I don't know how this can be so spooky, but also incredible at the same time. These are supposed images of beyond the ice wall, and what's so creepy about it is there doesn't seem to be much sign of life anywhere. It just seems to be endless continents we've never seen before, full of just forests and not many buildings or boats anywhere. And if you don't know about the theory of the ice wall, let me explain it to you. So on the flat Earth map, people believe that Antarctica is actually a ring that surrounds all of our continents, but there are openings in it that lead to other secret continents that some people claim to have ventured to. And this is the first time we've seen a supposed leaked ice wall photo ever since we saw this one over a year ago. And this one is mind-blowing because it shows lush vegetation right next to an ice wall and a type of city that we've never seen before. Those buildings are egg-shaped, which is just super cool. And I know what you might be thinking, it's all just AI. But I put it in this AI detector and it said that it's most likely to be legit. And this one I actually do think is real, because if you zoom in, you can see a lot of detail that you wouldn't see on an AI generated photo. But the photos from the first part of the video were obviously AI. I knew that right away, but it is just fun to hope that it could actually be true.
If AI photos leaked.
If you like the moon landing footage, you should love this footage of Jupiter, filmed in 1979. Taken by NASA's Voyager 1 and 2, unmanned crafts on a space adventure. Can you believe it only took 1.5 years to get to Jupiter? More recently, Juno camera took 5 years. That's because technology was better back then.
Okay.
There's even some color footage, and it's got that real 1970s feel to it. Scientists made a special real gold disc to go inside Voyager before its mission, with information about Earth on it. So if aliens find the craft, they can listen to it, if they still use record players and vinyl. Voyager's said to still be in space and still working. They made things to last in those days, that's for sure.
Get out of here. So Voyager just stopped mid-flight to record?
Ew, you still use mainstream skincare? At this point, everybody and their mother has heard of beef tallow, but a lot of y'all still haven't tried it. So I'm gonna show y'all my beef tallow skincare before and after. Before I show you this picture of my skin, I want y'all to know that this was 3 months ago. I was doing an extensive skincare routine with the CeraVe and like the whole product line. I've had bad skin my entire life. It's never something that I've ever gotten compliments on. It's actually been quite the opposite. So that being said, I'm about to show you. It looked like someone took a cheese grater to my face. Oh my gosh. I'm telling y'all, switching to beef tallow is one of the best decisions I've ever made, and my skin has never been happier, nor has it ever glowed like this. It is quite literally food for your skin. It has vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K, vitamin E, vitamin B. If you've been looking for a sign or curious to start beef tallow, this is it. I have a one-step routine. I rub beef tallow on my face at night. The manuka honey inside of it cleanses my face. The beef tallow moisturizes my face. That's it. Don't need anything else. I owe my life to this Evil Goods beef tallow.
Evil Goods. You're not getting me to put beef grease on my face.
Parasites and inflammation of the gut, pay attention. This is simple to resolve. The first thing you gotta do is not you have to use parasite herbs that address parasites. Yes, that is important. Rather, it's to address the root cause, the medium that attracts your parasites. Because parasites are only there because they need to be there. Okay, you ate something, it may have parasites in the worms. Yes, that's valid. But the medium is there that attracts it. You eat protein and starches over a period of time. It creates an environment or a medium that attracts your parasites, your worms, to feed off it. Bacteria is there to break down acids, proteins that cannot be broken down, toxins, heavy metals. Fungi is there to break down sugars you can't digest properly or make use of properly. Fermented sugars attracts candida, fungi. So if you want to address the root cause of your parasites, you need to address the medium. So we use fruits to move the lymphatic system and to clean the gut, to scrub and clean the gut, the fiber content and the astringency and the lymphatic moving capacity of the fruits. Use that. Then you use herbs like wormwood, cloves, okay, black walnut hull. These are hawthornberry, fantastic for getting rid of worms. Then we use herbs like my anti-bee formula that has cloves again. Cedar acuta, cryptolepsis. It gets rid of a broad range of fungi, bacteria, and worms. Okay, and you stay consistent, but you always fix your kidneys and your lymphatic system. And then for your gut, to clean your gut, you can use herbs like marshmallow root, slippery elm, gentian root, cascara sagrada, cape aloe. These are fantastic for your gut. It cleans it up for you. If you have tears in your gut, you want to repair it, then use comfrey leaf tea. It will repair it for you very quickly. And that's how you take care of parasites. That's how you take care of gut inflammation. Okay? Diet change and herbs. And stay consistent.
I am the one who has seen the rise and fall of kings and kingdoms. Suleiman, king of Israel, I've come to test your famed wisdom. What is the greatest power that can neither be seen nor touched in minds of creation?
Man, look at the AI movie. It looks so real.
The greatest power is love. It is the force that binds the hearts of men, the heavens and the earth. It is unseen, untouchable, yet it governs all. Love. You think love is the greatest power? Yes, for love is the essence of creation itself. It moves the stars. It inspires sacrifice. It conquers fear. You are indeed wise. But tell me this, Solomon. What is more powerful than God? More evil than the devil? The poor have it. The rich need it. And if you eat it, you'll die.
Ooh. The movie name, The Ring of Solomon.
The reason why many people have social anxiety, this is not for everyone, but many people.
There's a scene on a wall. It's called the Duty Hotep image. And it shows the Egyptians. It's all, you see these dudes in profile. It's an Egyptian drawing. Definitely Dynastics made the drawing. And there's 156 dudes when you count them all up, and they're pulling a statue that's tied to a wooden sled. Now, we know this statue, there's parts of it still exist. First, it's alabaster. It's not granite. Second, it weighs about 56 tons. That's fine. And you're dragging it on a wooden sled. You can't use that to explain how you move a 1,000-ton statue. It's not like a sliding scale of difficulty. There's a curve to it. I do grant them the ability to use primitive methods to move stuff up to like 100, 150 tons. But once you start getting to 400, 600, 1,000 tons, material failure, wood's not an issue. That literally sleds would just be crushed or driven into the ground. There's an absolute scale of difficulty that gets applied to these massive objects. They say like, oh, we know how they did it because they talk about it. So for example, with the giant statues, right, there's...
So the answer is aliens did it.
He thinks a billionaire had a great idea. Who started Instagram? Wasn't Mark Zuckerberg. Who got wealthy off of it? Jeff Bezos bought Whole Foods. Warren Buffett bought 100 people's other businesses. So the real thing that nobody talks about is the real way of the billionaire is people who buy other people's distressed assets. Bill Gates bought DOS. Steve Jobs didn't come up with the mouse. They took it from IBM. Ray A. Kroc did not start McDonald's, but he became the richest man in America by buying it from the McDonald's brother. That's the way of the billionaire that nobody talks about. It's hard to make over 100 million in revenue from stuff you start yourself. Elon Musk, let's say between 2004 and 2006, he put $6 million into his initial investment when Tesla founders were having a hard time. Every 100,000 he put in is worth $900 million now.
The question is, how do we make the money to buy the businesses?
Yo.
Yo.
What's wrong? Nothing, bro. It's my back teeth, bro. I think it's like infected. Oh, bro, that's probably your wisdom teeth, bro. You gotta get them taken out. You gotta get your wisdom teeth taken out, bro. No, that's what they want. That's what they want, bro. Why do you think they want the wisdom teeth removed so bad? Because it holds wisdom, bro. It holds wisdom. They want everybody to get their wisdom taken out of them.
Yeah.
Not me. Not me. I'm not taking it out, bro. That's what they all want. Like, why do you think they want them out so bad? Why do you think? Because it's going to impact your teeth, bro. Like, wisdom tooth is literally going to push against the rest of it. It's going to impact the rest of my teeth, bro. If I keep my wisdom teeth in, then the rest of my teeth are going to become wise. See, because you not thinking like that, bro. You not thinking that deep. Why you think that the wisdom tooth is all the way in the back of the mouth? Why you think that? Because the truth isn't what we see. You got to go deeper to find it. Bro, if you don't take them out, they're going to become rotten. The wisdom tooth is going to become rotten, bro. Oh, and if it become rotten, it's going to turn black, right? Well, what's wrong with being black, my brother? The first wisdom tooth was black. Like, come on. It's not becoming rotten, bro. It's returning to form. And I bet you didn't peep this. Every time a wisdom tooth is taken out, they keep coming up with more chicken sandwiches. You not thinking, bro. Look at you. Look, y'all dumb, bro. Just keep being a hamster on the wheel.
This is so true. I like this guy's kid.